What a dream it is. When the things you've been quietly working towards, hoping for, start unfolding in front of your eyes. And the best part, not because someone gave them to you, but because you made them happen. 7 years ago, I stepped into the world of design and technology. I study people. I study humanity. I create for humanity. And in that, I find myself. Where I stand, who I am, and who I'm becoming. This trip to San Francisco is more than a visit. I'm attending Config, a conference I've dreamed to attend for 6 long years. Hosted by Figma, my daily design tool and creative playground. It's where I think, build, express, and collaborate with my team. Yes, I might seem like a spiritual soul drifting through nature, and part of that is true. But I also live in another world, a world made of thoughts, scribbled on paper, and endless hours inside Figma's colorful open space. Figma is where my ideas come alive. It's where I play. It's where I belong. And now I'm here in San Francisco, meeting my heroes, the founder of Figma, Dylan Field, the community I've followed, admired, and learned from, my creative family. They're all here. We all share the same pulse, to feel the pain, to connect, to ideate, to create, to push humanity forward through design. Welcome to San Francisco. Let the magic begin. Hello, good morning. As I love to say, buenos dias. I am filming from San Francisco, California, and I'm so excited to be on this trip because it's a special one. I am here on purpose. I'm traveling here with my team for the largest conference in design in my industry. I don't know if I ever mentioned here before, but I am, aside of being a YouTuber now, I am also a product designer. Specifically, I design systems for digital products. And I made it to the biggest conference, my dream conference, with the best designers that come here every year from all over the world to attend Config. Config is hosted by Figma, our design tool. So essentially 90% of my life actually happening in Figma, in my design tool. And I'm here with my team attending this big ass conference in the capital of big tech. Crazy, right? It's already my 3rd day here, so the conference at this time is already finished. I did do a lot of filming, and I finally kind of like wrapped up my thoughts in regards to this conference, and I want to share that because if you're interested in the latest technologies and ideas that humanity is creating at this time, please go ahead and watch it for yourself. We had so many speakers from all over the world, not necessarily people who even design digital products, but people that create. So I would say this conference is definitely for creators, not just people in the tech industry. So I think that's just going to be beneficial and would have a lot of substance for people that think bigger, have ideas that they want to execute, but they just need a boost of that motivation and see what other people are doing. And I am so inspired after this conference. Like, I have goosebumps all over my skin for the last 3 days because I think I finally found some people from my tribe, and that just feels so incredibly empowering that I'm not alone. Sometimes I just feel like a lonely goose, but after being here, I realized that maybe I'm not as weird as I think to myself. And there are a lot of people that I have conversations with that kind of got me, you just feel that you're heard and understood, and that just the connection, this kind of connection is something that I was craving for a really long time. And I finally got exposed to it here in San Francisco, far away from home. So yeah, I can't believe that I am here with world's best designers that flew in here, and they just like walking and breathing the same air as I do. I don't know, it's weird, but it's kind of comforting me. And I'm so excited to see what we bring to the table in the next couple of years, because technology is evolving. We are running to create efficient technologies. Getting an Uber somewhere. Can you imagine Uber just became a verb? This is how much technology is in a day-to-day life that we just don't realize. And we just create efficient ways to live, right? But what I've heard yesterday kind of blew my mind a little bit, because technology wants to get us everywhere faster. And at the same time, we lose that human connection sometimes, that we would have in the past. So where do we actually need to insert technology and make our lives more convenient and more comfortable? And where do we actually need to introduce that friction to form human connection and to be able to live a fulfilling life, to introduce play in our day-to-day? When do you get an Uber and when you just walk around and explore the city? Like, we have that choice now. And because humans are trying to always be productive and efficient, we kind of blur the lines of when we actually need to get back to where it all started, just, walking around and not getting an Uber, for example, making a connection at a coffee shop with a person instead of getting a delivery of your coffee to your hotel, which I didn't do. I went to the lobby and grabbed coffee. Okay, let me just grab that cup. Cheers. And also have that friendly chat with the barista or with the person who is ordering a coffee just in front of you, which what happened to me yesterday. This lady, like, my hotel is kind of full of people that are going to the same conference as I do, to Config. And she's like, oh, where are you going? Where are all these people? What kind of conference is that? And so we had a lovely chat for 5 minutes, which boosted my mood, and I hope hers too. So yeah, I think we definitely need to be more cautious with technology, not just in the aspect of what people say, okay, AI is gonna take over the world and robots and all of that, and we won't be able to differentiate between an actual person and a generated profile of a human. And sure, that could be a problem, and it's already kind of happening. A lot of scams are using AI to generate someone's family member features and act as if that's them. But in the same time, hold on, someone's begging on my door. Okay, that was just a friend I met in the hotel, and she's also going to my conference, and she just wanted to say bye, which is super sweet. See, like, she could have texted me. She could have been like, girl, nice to meet you, goodbye. But she decided to come upstairs and bang on my door and say goodbye. That's really sweet. Technology is built for humanity, okay, for the world, for us. And I feel like efficiency is overrated sometimes, and we need to know where to actually introduce friction. Come upstairs and say bye to someone you just met and create that human connection. Which that's what I love about humans. Like, we are just have this thing in us that's called our heart, and heart doesn't think. It goes with what feels right. And that's our additional sense that we are gifted to have, intuition. Unfortunately, no AI can be intuitive. It only learns from us and from what we already discovered. It could potentially calculate some variables, but and predict certain things, but humans will still be way more powerful than any AI. So yeah, that's kind of the idea that I wanted to get out of my system and record for future me to listen to and be grounded. And now I have a meeting with my team and I need to check out of this hotel. So I'm going to continue my rambling in a little bit out of a different location. But yeah, let's explore San Francisco together. I'm beyond excited to be here. I can't believe I'm here. Okay, let's go. I was walking around the city on my last day in town, just soaking it all in. The noise, the faces, the architecture, the little coffee shops buzzing with ideas. And then it hit me. What a perfect place to talk about the massive shift we're going through, like right now. Config cracked something open in me. I expected to hear more of technical novelty, but instead I heard how we as humanity can level up. I started thinking not just about tech or design, but about how fast everything is moving. How AI isn't just changing tools, it's changing us. So yeah, here I am, in the middle of World's Tech Hub, thinking about what it all means. AI is working in our favor in so many ways. But the part that fascinates me the most is how it's quietly raising the bar for human creativity. Not because we will have to compete with AI, but because, let's be real, AI is slowly wiping out mediocrity. The meh stuff, the average, the templated, the autopilot work, all gone. And that means if we want to stay in the game, we'll have to bring something real, something only human can bring. Originality, soul, weird little sparks of genius. Honestly, I think that's kind of beautiful. We will need to step up. It's like a cosmic push, an invitation to evolve, not in a robotic way. Let's outsource all the manual basic work to machines and focus on what matters. AI pushes us to level up as a species. I feel compassion for those who choose to stay in the same loop, trapped in routines clinging to the past. But I also trust deeply that someone will come along with a heart for designing bridges between tradition and innovation, between the old way of living and whatever this strange, electric, wild new era is becoming. Will AI divide us into embracers and protesters? Maybe. But we've been through strange chapters before. Personally, I think this is the most exciting time to be alive. And something tells me this is just the beginning. While most people react to what's already here, They're a small group of people who quietly shape what's coming. They imagine, they wonder, they overthink how the world can look like. Those people are designers. Designers show the future. We think way ahead. We often say, how cool would it be if? We imagine extraordinary solutions, not because we have to, but because we can. Design is play, it's curiosity. It's what if life could be like this? A big part of our day is spent dreaming, ideating, shaping things that don't exist yet. So maybe it's fair to say we really do live in the future, but we also live in the present and in the past. When we try to unpack a user's pain point, we have to slow down. We step into someone else's shoes. That takes time. We question what is before we imagine what could be. One of the presenters at Config said something that really stuck with me. I made a career out of overthinking. And honestly, same. Designers overthink a lot, not just because we secretly all suffer from imposter syndrome, though show me a designer who doesn't, but because we're constantly balancing two impossible forces. What's possible versus what's real. What could exist in the far future versus what can actually be built today. And somewhere in between all of this is us, the human in the middle, designing for other humans. We've been taught to stay objective, to trust the data. But let's be honest, everything still passes through our human lens. We wonder, we feel, we judge what makes sense. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes design feel so alive. I made it to the Victoria and Sisters Park, and it was such a beautiful view in front of me, literally a few minutes ago, and it still is. It's just you don't see it. I still see it. I just wanted to move to a quiet corner so I can record my thoughts and remember what was happening here in San Francisco. Earlier this morning, me and my team met at the lobby of my hotel, and we were just brainstorming and chatting everything that was happening at Config. You know, there is so much. Like, my notes app literally exploded during the 2 days that we're here. And I just realized how hard it is to actually focus on one idea and go for it. When we were talking about Config, we were just, rumbling, and a lot of what we were saying was just not related to anything. It's just like a random thought that's crossing and it's taking us directions. And I realized how important that is to actually focus on one thing, one simple thing, and go execute it this year. So I'm trying to kind of like rinse off everything that was said. I don't want any foreign ideas to rub off me too much, because I feel like when I'm overwhelmed with different thoughts and ideas, I just cannot think clearly for myself, and that's distracting me from acting. I said to myself this rule that I have to execute, from ideation to execution shouldn't be such a gap that I always had in the previous years. Like, I actually wanted to start this YouTube channel like 10 years ago, and I actually did, but I was not serious about it, and I perhaps was not there yet. Like, there was no substance for me to share. And now I just realized it's enough for me to just share my journey, and that's enough for the substance to happen. So they're quiet steps, but they're so crucial, because acting doesn't have to restrict, you know? And things are really scary. Like, there's so many scary things in this world that prevent us from being ourselves, being authentic, doing whatever we want, even when we don't know what we should do. So yeah, I'm just throwing out there my ideas and thoughts. But I hope each and one of us gonna go with what feels right to them. Just focus on one thing and go do it. This year is such a pivotal year for me. I feel it. You know, even though I don't have any extraordinary results just yet, but I know that I am in the right direction. Like, it feels right. Like, whatever I'm doing right now feels aligned. I don't know where is it gonna lead me, but that feels so in alignment. And being here in San Francisco feels in alignment. Even though I know that my path as a designer might go elsewhere, I know that I am not just a designer. I know that I am going towards being a true creator and author of my own thing. And even if I don't know what exactly that thing is going to be, but I do know that I am a creator. And I figured that out literally a year ago, that I don't feel fulfilled just by being a designer. And I resonate with one thought that this presenter during Config said. If I'm gonna find him again, I'm gonna plug in his name somewhere. He used to be a designer, and he's still a designer, but he says one thing: every designer is a founder. Every designer has to be a founder of their own thing. Being a designer, meaning solving problems for other people, it's just a lot of aspects of business, like finances and delivery, and there's so many things that is not part of the design process. But in the same time, designers are so capable to go through every single piece until a product will see the light of day, because we are problem solvers. Designers are problem solvers. And I feel like my motto in life, my slogan is, I'm just gonna figure it out. And that was true for so many years, like me immigrating from Israel to Canada and then starting traveling the world. So I had so many epiphanies in the last couple of years, and I learn about myself so much being on the road. So to wrap this up, I just want to finish with that thought back to the Config presenter. He is obviously a huge success right now, just because he took things in control, under his control. You know, he had this idea and he went and executed that. And he didn't just leave it for the chance to happen, you know. He could just drop it. He could pass it on to someone else. But he decided to act on it and execute it. And he said everyone can. And I believe him. I don't know why. Maybe I am being this naive creature. But in a world that's so full of skeptical people, it's just so contagious to start being skeptical. And I'm just trying to fight it back. Because there is another way, you know. There is another way.
The best work of your life, you have to stop being scared. You have to believe that there's time before you lock it in. You have to be brave enough to put it out there, even if it's not quite perfect. You need to go with your gut. You need to exercise your gut. Use that gut as often as you can and make those creative decisions early and often and in the open. And you need to not be afraid to evolve. Even if something's out there, that doesn't mean it's final. That doesn't mean it's the final iteration, and you can do it again and again and again.